morning, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. On the evening of September 11th, a family member of Tyler Robinson reached out to a family friend who contacted the Washington County Sheriff's Office with information that Robinson had confessed to them or implied that he had committed the incident. This information was relayed to the Utah County Sheriff's Office and scene investigators at Utah Valley University. This information was also conveyed to the FBI. Investigators reviewed additional video footage from UVU surveillance and identified Robinson arriving on UVU campus in a gray Dodge Challenger at approximately 8:29 a.m. on September 10th.
I believe the American people, we really need to think what our next step is going to be. We cannot allow ourselves to be divided. We cannot allow other countries or anybody to divide us.
In which he is observed on video in a plain maroon t-shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat with a white logo, and light-colored shoes. When encountered in person by investigators in Washington County on September 12th, in the early morning hours, Robinson was observed in consistent clothing with those surveillance images. Investigators interviewed a family member of Robinson who stated that Robinson had become more political in recent years. The family member referenced a recent incident in which Robinson came to dinner prior to September 10th, and in the conversation with another family member, Robinson mentioned Charlie Kirk was coming to UVU. They talked about why they didn't like him and the viewpoints that he had. The family member also stated Kirk was full of hate and spreading hate. The family member also confirmed Robinson had a gray Dodge Challenger. Investigators identified an individual as the roommate of Robinson. Investigators interviewed that roommate, who stated that his roommate, referring to Robinson, made a joke on Discord. Investigators asked if he would show them the messages on Discord. He opened it and showed several messages to investigators and allowed investigators to take photos of the screen as each message was shown by Robinson's roommate. These photos consisted of various messages, including content of messages between the phone contact named Tyler with an emoji icon and Robinson's roommate's device. The content of these messages included messages affiliated with the contact Tyler, stating a need to retrieve a rifle from a drop point, leaving the rifle in a bush, messages related to visually watching the area where a rifle was left, and a message referring to having left the rifle wrapped in a towel. The messages also refer to engraving bullets and a mention of a scope and the rifle being unique. Messages from the contact Tyler also mentioned that he had changed outfits. I know there's been speculation as well as to the writing on those casings, those bullet casings, and I believe we have that as well. And I will share that with you now. So the area north of Campus Drive Road where the suspect crossed over, you saw some of that in the video that we released last night, consists of a grassy area with trees on the edge of the UVU campus. Investigators discovered a bolt-action rifle wrapped in a dark-colored towel. The rifle was determined to be a Mauser Model 98 30-06 caliber bolt-action rifle. The rifle had a scope mounted on top of it. Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices, bulges, capital OWO, what's this?" ? Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist!" ! Catch! ! Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow," and a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
Yesterday you were at the 9/11 memorial. We were all watching that.
Yeah.
J.D. Vance was supposed to be with you. He went out to be with Charlie Kirk's family to get the body back to his hometown in Arizona. And you said you were going to award him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which
That's
is
right.
very nice of you. Any updates on this suspect?
Yeah. Can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else. But I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him
Right
in
now.
custody. Right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But, yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr.
And
President.
he's in custody.
Your suspicion was that he was radical left, and now you have more information. What can you share with us about his ideology?
Yeah, Lawrence, let me just, and by the way, Lawrence is doing a good job. What's going on
Fantastic
here?
job, yeah.
Mr.
Great
I'll
President.
tell you what, I'm very proud of you. I said you were going to do well. Yeah, I think that I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him, you know, they said, whoa. It's interesting where we had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but you know, I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you, huh?
Thank you.
Always have breaking news, Ainsley.
Right.
Sean's going to be very disappointed that we're not doing it on his show.
He'll be very thankful and appreciative of the
I think
police
so.
officers.
There is so much news fluttering around the internet about this situation and trying to find the one responsible for taking Charlie Kirk's life. So they're saying they have somebody of interest, but they highly believe this is the kid that pulled the trigger. And, you know, even though they made the mistake of arresting somebody else and, well, detaining somebody and questioning that person who looked like an older gentleman, was released yesterday. And they've done everything in their power. The government and the FBI, everybody has done everything in their power to try to find this kid. And finally, they found him. And it was only because somebody, and they're saying a family member, a lot of people are saying that the father was the one that turned him in. Now, everybody, we need to speak on what form of punishment this kid is. He's going to be seeking trial. He's going to be seeking, I'm hoping, the death penalty for this. This isn't just an attack on another man in this country. This is attack on our freedom of speech in this country. And we cannot allow people in this country to think that they can just go and get a weapon and take somebody's life just because they do not agree with what they are saying. We also don't want to cross a line that may be too barbaric in how we issue punishments. We cannot allow the right and people that are level-headed into crossing a line that it is known for the left and the Democrats to seek violence. The party that says they're all about coming together, uniting, having peace. Yet these are the same type of people that have radical people on their side that are committing these heinous acts against people on the right. You know, I saw a video last night, and it teared me up a lot because it showed people gathering around for Charlie, saying prayers, lighting candles, and appreciating what he gave this world, not just this country. There are people around the world who are speaking on this man and how much of an impact he had in our way of thinking and how we look at things and changing our perspective. And some gentleman decided to run through Charlie's prayers and say some obnoxious things, and everybody there decided to jump on him and beat the crap out of him. I'm not gonna say that's the solution to the problem. It's not the solution to the problem. That's not what Charlie wanted. Charlie wanted us to sit down across from each other and have a civil debate, have a conversation, open up ideas in people's minds, having the willingness to change your own mind while listening to other people. I have seen some videos where Charlie would agree with some of the people he speaks to on certain subjects. He'll agree with people on certain aspects. And then he opens the conversation even more, expanding more on questions. And I believe that's one of the biggest reasons that he got killed. And it's unfair. It's unfair to the world. It's unfair to his family. I believe the American people, we really need to think what our next step is going to be. We cannot allow ourselves to be divided. And if this is something that's coming from other countries using propaganda and false information to instill in these people that are committing these crimes, we need to find out. We need to find out who's all involved. We cannot allow other countries or anybody to divide us. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe, I would appreciate it. Till next time, peace out, everybody.